In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily determine the slope of a line from an equation. This is the standard equation of a line, y equals mx plus b. I need my equation of the line in this format to easily read slope, which is represented by the symbol m in the equation, and the y-intercept, which is represented by b in the equation. So the equation of a line can be in some other format, but I must rewrite it into this standard format. If you do not know how to rewrite equations, please look at my videos on rewriting equations. Once we have our linear equation in the standard form, it's just a matter of reading. M is going to tell me the slope, B is going to tell me the y-intercept. In these first 6 equations, they are exactly in this standard equation format. I have the y variable on one side of the equal sign, not negative y. If it's negative y, I've got to rewrite the equation. That's not the standard equation. I need a positive y. So all of these equations have a positive y on one side of the equal sign by itself. Then we have a term with the x variable next. And then we have the y-intercept being added to the term with the variable x. So we want to determine the slope of these lines. All we have to do is read. The slope of this line is positive 3. The slope of this line is positive 9. The slope of this line is positive 1. All of these lines look like this line. It's going uphill as you move from left to right along the line. The slope is positive. This is the steepest of these 3. It's the one closest to vertical. This is in the middle, and this one is closer to the horizontal axis. You don't see a number in front of the variable x. So where did I get 1 from? Every variable has a number in front of it. That number is called the coefficient. Here, 3 is being multiplied to x. Here, 9 is being multiplied to x. Here, you don't see anything being multiplied to x. But there's actually a number there. People are sometimes confused whether the number here is a 1 or a 0. Because they don't see anything here, they think it's 0. But 0 times x is 0, not x. So the number that's missing here is the number 1. It's invisible, but it's really there. 1 times x is x, so there's no reason to write the 1, but it's actually there. So the slope of this line is 1. Now let's look at this line of equations. All of these have negatives in front of the variable. This has a negative slope. This has a negative slope. This has a negative slope. That means that these 3 lines look like this one, going downhill. The slope of this line is negative 5. The slope of this line is negative 4. The slope of this line is negative 1. If you don't see a number in front of the variable, the number is 1. 1 times x is x. Negative 1 times x is negative x. So the slope of this line is negative 1. Now let's look at these 3 equations for a line. This is not in the standard format. We don't have an mx term. These 3 lines are horizontal lines. Horizontal lines do not have a slope. There's no steepness the slope m equals 0. So if I were to plug 0 into this standard equation of a line, 0 times x equals 0. So this term with the variable would be eliminated and you'd be left with y equals whatever the y-intercept is as the equation of the line. So the slope of all horizontal lines is 0. Now let's look at this example. We have y equals 7x. So this time we only have the term with the variable. We don't have the y-intercept. If there is nothing being added to or subtracted from the term with the variable in a linear equation, that means that the y-intercept is plus 0. We don't need to write 0 because anything plus 0 is still itself. 3 plus 0 is 3. 5 plus 0 is 5. Negative 10 plus 0 is negative 10. 0 is the additive identity. It's the only number that you can add to any other number or term and not change it. So it's here. This is my y-intercept, but you just don't see it. So whenever you see a linear equation that has y equals a term with the variable x and no y-intercept, all of those lines cross the y-axis at 0. So here's the y-axis, so it's really plus 0 for the y-intercept. So on the y-axis, 0's right here. The location where the y-axis and the x-axis cross is y equals 0. It is also x equals 0. This point is called the origin on a Cartesian plane or any other plane. The slope of this line is 7. The slope is the portion of the equation that is attached to the variable. So the slope of this line is positive 7. This line is moving uphill as we move from left to right, but it's crossing the y-axis at 0. Let's look at our last two examples, x equals 5 and x equals negative 0.5. This is a vertical line that crosses the x-axis at 5, positive 5. This is a vertical line that crosses the x-axis at negative 0.5. Vertical lines have an undefined slope. There's no such thing as slope for a vertical line. So the slope of every vertical line is undefined. I hope this lesson was helpful. Please leave a comment. Your comments help me improve the quality of these videos. Have a great day. No more math blues.